What's up guys, I am Chase here at Rocky Mountain A2MC coming at you with the PowerJet carburetor kits from Lectron Fuel Systems. So Lectron Fuel Systems, these guys got started back in 1974. They come out of Texas and they specialize in making high performance carburetors. Now what's so popular and so unique about these is one, they're a direct bolt-on replacement for your motorcycle, for your stock carburetor. And if you look closely, you are going to notice that there are no jets on this carburetor. So this is a self-tuning, self-adjusting carburetor. So it's going to self-adjust for things like altitude, for humidity, for temperature. And the way it does that is it uses their metering rod technology, which we'll talk about more in here in just a little bit. So these carburetors, they really just simplify everything. No more pilot jet, main jet, jet needle, needle jets, all that, it is out the window. So these are really popular to make them for a lot of different motorcycles, but especially popular for riders that do big elevation changes on their rides. For us here in Utah, for example, we can go from 4,000 all the way up to 11,000 feet or more in a single day. And so when you're doing those big elevation changes, this makes it so you don't have to worry about doing or rejetting your motorcycle. So much simpler. And I actually have heard a lot of riders talking about this. This does not come from Lectron, but a lot of riders say that it does increase the fuel economy on their motorcycles as well. Now we have used these here at Rocky Mountain. For example, we have a 2017 Husqvarna TE150. Now we were having issues getting that bike jetted the way we wanted it. We tried different jets, different jet kits, just couldn't get it quite right. So we actually threw on a Lectron carburetor. If you want to see that test and how that went, make sure you click on the video. Needless to say, we were impressed and it actually did solve the jetting issues that we were having. Now, Lectron Fuel System says this is a self-tuning, self-adjusting carburetor, but I do want to point out that there are a few adjustments. There's three things that you can fine-tune and adjust on this. You can have two external and one internal. I'll show you that here in a minute. But let's just take a look at the carburetor from the outside and work our way in so you know what I'm talking about. So it's going to look like your traditional carburetor, no surprises there. But on the outside, you're going to have, this is your choke, big black screw there. You're going to have your idle screw. So this is adjustable just for your idle. And then here in the front, actually the rear, because this is going to face the air box, this is going to be your power jet. Now the power jet, you're going to fine tune that. And what's cool is talking to Lectron Fuel Systems, these guys say that typically it's no more than a quarter turn at a time. So you don't need to worry about having to fiddle with this when you're out riding. It's very small adjustments. But the power jet is going to be for half throttle or more. So think of it like a kitchen sink faucet. When you're half throttle or more, the power jet is going to pull fuel from your float bowl and add more fuel to your mixture. And that's how that works. So very simple, straightforward, simple to adjust. But the secret sauce and how these things work, because you're probably wondering, how the heck does this thing self-adjust? It's going to be in their metering rod, and that's what I have right here. So I've actually taken this one out of a different carburetor. So this is going to be a slide, similar to what you would see on any other carburetor. But here's the secret sauce. This is their metering rod right here. Now how this works, it's actually really cool because there's no electronics, it's all just based around physics. So the side facing the motor is going to have a chamfer side to it, and it's going to have a tapered chamfer all the way down, and then the side facing the air box just has a rounded side. So there you go. So that's the chamfer, that's the metering rod. But how it works is like, you got to think of a rock in a river. If you've ever seen a rock in a river, the water's coming down, it hits the rock, and as it gets to the other side, you actually see that water start to come back towards the rock, and you have what they call that eddy on the other side. So the same principle is here. So as the air comes in, it's going to hit the round side of this metering rod, and then it's going to create that eddy on the other side, on the flat chamfer side. Now, depending on how strong that eddy is, so taking into consideration your altitude, the humidity, and the temperature, that's how much fuel it's going to pull up the metering rod. So what's cool about this is you can't use too much fuel, and I think that's why a lot of guys say that they get better fuel economy, is because it just totally depends on how strong the eddy is, how much fuel is going to come up the metering rod, and that's how it self-tunes and self-adjusts, is taking those things into consideration. So simple and straightforward, it's actually really brilliant. I love the idea, the design, very simple. Now when it comes to the third adjustment that I talked about earlier, so you're going to have your air screw, your idle screw, and that power jet, you can adjust the metering rod as well. So typically with the metering rod adjustment, it's going to really depend if you have some modifications done to your bike. So if maybe you've done airbox modifications or if you've done an aftermarket exhaust, you can fine tune this. And the way you do it's very simple. Every Lectron carburetor is going to come with their adjustment tool. So you take this, you just slide it up the metering rod. And as I said, just with that power jet, usually no more than a quarter turn at a time is going to be needed. So very fine tuning, very easy to do. Now one thing you want to keep in mind is once you've adjusted this, if you do a quarter turn, this chamfer side always needs to be facing the motor. So once you've done that, you can actually just turn it right back to face the motor by just simply compressing it in and rotating it back, but it's not going to mess with the adjustment that you just made. So there it is. That is the metering rod. And again, that is the secret sauce behind the Lectron fuel system's carburetor. So if you do big elevation changes, this is going to be a really good option because again, it's going to optimize performance regardless of the elevation change that you are making. Or maybe you're just not too confident with jetting or you just don't like to dabble with it. This could be a really good option. So head over to our website at RockyMountainATVMC.com to pick yours up. Now you want to keep in mind these are machine specific and they come as a kit. So enter the make, the model, and the year of your motorcycle, and that will give you the kit that's going to give you the parts that are specific to give you the exact fitment that you are looking for. If you guys have any thoughts, comments, or questions, make sure write those below, call us or chat live online. We want to get your questions answered. And as always, orders over $75 are going to ship free. I am Chase here at Rocky Mountain, and we'll see you on the trails.